Behind me is the valley, all the way across here. All the way across there is the valley. In the current translation of the Heavener Runestone is Glome's doll. They think that the second letter is an elderfurthic, while the other, I'm sorry, it's a mixture of elder and younger furthic is what the Danish fellow has described it to be. However, I believe it to be Goth, and I believe that the original translation of Ga'ath Alamid At is correct. The current translation of Glome's doll. This is supposed to be Glome's doll, which is Glome's Valley. That's what it means. It means Glome's Valley, Valley of Glome. There's only been one over on that mountain. There's been one at the base of that one small runestone. That's Poto Runestone found there. 175 miles that way, the Shawnee Runestone was found, which we believe to be fake. The Poto Runestone we have doubts about. We're about 50-50 on that one. However, we know that the Runestone behind me, which is right below that building right there, it was definitely here in the 1830s when the Choctaws came through. Definitely here in the 1890s when other people have seen it, and on all the way up to the 1920s when it was first documented by the Smithsonian. 1923, I believe it was. A guy by the name of Kimmerer, who brought Gloria Farley here for the first time, was the one who first really sent any kind of documentation in. Now, there have been people that said that they think that it might be made by Frenchmen. They came in with La Salle, or a German that traveled with La Salle, that knew runic alphabets and whatever, and supposedly buried La Salle in this area, or made a property marker, boundary marker, or burial marker. We do know that there's probably someone in a cave down in there, or there was at one time. There is a cavern. It's really hard to accept that this means Glome's doll when no real pertinent runestones are even known back that way or have been found. While on top of this mountain, I have been told all my life by my grandfather and by the guy who donated this land to the state, and by many others, that this mountain is covered by runestones. We have affidavits signed by 2 or 3 people that we know of, stating that there were runestones on top of this mountain. I know where there's another runestone just like this big one on the opposite end of this mountain, but we can't get to it because of the landowner won't let us in there for right now. There are other ones all around this mountain. We've heard about them, we've known about them, and we are looking for them. My opinion is Ga means to heed, beware. Othala is a hereditary property marker. I still think that. I've been told that that's incorrect, but this is, older than what they're looking at. I'm looking at between 600 to 700 AD. Through the Dark Ages, and so there's relatively little known about that. As far as, and it's a simple language, this is more simple than the older runestones that came about. They were more intricate as around the years 900 on up to 1100, 1200, so on. This was more rudimentary. We believe it to be real and to be a grave marker, and then the rest of it means made for a dead person or made for a dead one. We still believe that. We think that the mountain, or I do, no one else is really taking this in, but this is my theory, is that this mountain is what the runestones are made for. Basically someone who owned this mountain, or this is his burial place, or this is where he belongs, or his sons, or whoever the hereditary people are that comes along. This is for them. We know that most likely the runestone was inscribed by 2 different people, more than one, simply because it's 2 different hands, and it looks like the last part of the runestone was actually, as they were putting in the H, was actually rushed. So this could have occurred over, a few years to weeks to, several years. So it's really hard to say, and I don't know where they get this, is that this means Glome's Doll, the Valley of Glome, as there should be other boundary markers or whatever over there. We believe that they're incorrect. We stand by what we say here. Ga Athala Midat is what this transcribes to be, which means which means beware, or to heed, take heed. You are among property set aside for hereditary property that was made for a dead person. I'm Jackson Burns, Heavener Runestone, signing up.